people live in the North Indian city of Kanpur. In the summer, temperatures touch 45 degrees. Power cuts last up to 15 hours a day. Katiyabaaz is the Kafkaesque tale of the electricity wars in India. The struggle between Loha, a Robin Hood-style Katiyabaaz who steals electricity from the rich. IAS officer Ritu Maheshwari, the first female chief of the Kanpur Electricity Supply Board. Public servants, administrators, corrupt politicians and the people of Kanpur who have little choice but to suffer and sweat. Katiyabaaz is a moving and brutal portrait of the state of our nation. I'm sitting with directors Deepti and Fahad and presenters Motwane and Anurag Kashyap. Deepti, Fahad, congratulations on a terrific film.
Thank you.
Vikram and Anurag, for you, what really struck out? Why are you putting your muscle behind this?
I showed everybody the film at Phantom. We all loved it. And we said, let's just do something with it because it's a great film. It just needs to be seen, by a larger audience. And why not? It's such a cool film. It's so accessible. It's so, everybody can identify with it. It's fun. Loha Singh's one of the great cinematic characters in,
It's the real entertainment.
Yeah, it's bad. Everything. So if you think about it, it actually has, it's funny, it's tragic, it's a thriller, it's it's a complete package.
And what's amazing, it made me cry.
It makes you
Did
cry.
it make you cry?
It made me cry that moment between
with the mother.
Singh and the mother.
Yeah,
I actually got emotional.
Yeah.
And his sequences with his mama or uncle, those two sequences are the most
in the bar.
Brilliant, unscripted. Scenes, the two scenes in the bar, it's unbelievable. I'm saying it is better than fiction.
How hard was it to make this?
It was not easy at all. Kanpur is not an easy place to be in and the crew was there for 2 years. There was 14 of us, I think, stationed there off and on for 2 years. But we made it through and I think managed to capture the essence of a city that is crumbling apart without infrastructure.
Eventually, it is a government-controlled electricity board, and they're scared that they're losing their vote bank. And when in a place like that, electricity is your biggest promise that any politician makes, right? And so nobody is strong enough to come in and say, just take all the Katiyas off.
There's too many vested interests.
Too many vested interests. Loha Singh, that's why Loha Singh exists.
What a tragic character, and yet there's something so poetic about him. There's such a...
He's the actual dabang of the street.
He is. He's really heroic in a very sort of sad way. How did you find him?
Wouldn't be fair for me to take this by myself, but Fahad actually met him. He was up on a pole, and a common friend called him down and said, "Loha, tumse milna chahte hain." And he came down, and with his natural swagger, he said, "Do you want to see something cool?" And Fahad said, "Always." And he went and usne apni kalabazi dikhai. Won't be appropriate for me to say more. And we were shocked. We were absolutely shocked. There were sparks and explosions, and of course, we thought we'd done something terribly illegal.
It was terribly illegal.
That's sure, yeah.
And it was love at first sight, really.
But the question is, this film, and I was looking at the funding, 9 film funds across 8 countries, not 1 Indian rupee in this. How does that change?
It's not like we didn't pitch to Indian producers.
It was pitched to us also.
Really?
Because there was this doc thing in Calcutta, and Gunit called back, and Gunit said, "How much money do we have? Because I saw this amazing thing called Katiyabaaz, and we should really get involved into that." And we really didn't have the money at that time, and she was dying to get involved with Katiyabaaz. I remember that.
No, I think there are very valid concerns because people don't know if they're going to recover that money, what's going to happen to it, etc., etc.
It's tough enough for indie films, feature films to get funded. So you can imagine the documentaries
It's a whole other thing.
I know, it's also after Michael Moore's documentary Inconvenient Truth and some of those, and Not 20 Feet from Stardom. Abroad, you see how many documentaries are being made now. It has changed. It's the success of something that changes, because at the end of the day, the investor is just a businessman.
No, but it's true. It's what Bowling for Columbine and it's what Fahrenheit 9/11 did for the American documentary, for the international documentary to be seen as more, not this very, very, very niche only playing the fact that those films can actually go out there. Then you have an Inconvenient Truth, and then you have a bunch of...
Supersize Me.
Yeah, Supersize Me. Now the fact that an act of killing or an imposter, these ones are now getting mainstream releases. The fact that way has been paved by the Michael Moore films from way back. And I hope that the same thing happens now. The fact that Word Before Her and Katiyabaaz and Fire in the Blood are going out. Fire in the Blood, in fact, played in movie theatre for 7 weeks or something like that, which is unheard of for a documentary. I mean, features don't last that long.
Well, and this is, I was in New York recently, and IFC Center, out of all the screens, 75% are not just documentaries. That is how much it has changed. Yeah, it's unbelievable, and people are watching them.
Tell me, the other thing, of course, is this whole label of peddling poverty porn. You know, this gets flung at all filmmakers who approach any subject like this. What do you come back with, especially because this film is shown at the Berlin Film Festival, it's shown at Tribeca. What is your response?
I mean, we were very conscious of this also because, 6 months into filming, we could have had a film that would perhaps qualify as poverty porn, or even then I wouldn't say so, or at least it would be sort of a voyeuristic, exotic window into India, and it would be seen as such. But we didn't do that. We persisted and we stayed on the ground for 2 years simply because we wanted this film to be identifiable here at home. And if you watch the film and you don't feel like this is Kanpur, then come back and say that to us.
They've taken a subject which could have been told in a very, very boring way, but they've done it in a way which really engages you and excites you. So like I said in some interview that they're the Raju Iranis of the documentary world, sitting right here.
It's surprising. Katiyabaaz is surprising in its entertainment quotient. It is. It is. It makes you laugh so much.
We are still reeling from that.
How do you feel about being the Raju Iranis of the documentary?
Why not?
Go watch Katiyabaaz now, and for more conversations like this, subscribe to Film Companion.
Subscribe to the Film Companion YouTube channel now and get your film fix.